Ah, the sea. So beautiful, so mysterious, yet so interesting. Years ago, when I was a teenager, we had a family tradition of frequently visiting my grandmother in another island from ours. I enjoyed it quite a lot. However, the time for enjoyment turned into tragedy. On a dark and foggy night, I left the house to see my friends. But when the house was no longer in sight, I instantly lost the notion of where I was supposed to go. Thoughts started blazing through my mind. I was terrified. Fear started to exaggerate everything. The wind was howling with the crashing thunders. I steadily advanced in the direction I was originally going, but suddenly, I saw it. The beast. Growling, and with a ferocious aspect, with stiff hairs and fixed eyes. It had the strength of a bull and the speed of lightning. My heart jumped to my mouth, not knowing what to do, but before I could react, it was too late. The beast had attacked me. I gasped in desperation, in search for help, but my trail had stopped. Dead. Well, that was the cinematic version. Because the real version, I was crossing the road, a dog bit me, big deal. I know some of you are thinking, I knew that story was not real. But it was a big deal for me because I had never been bitten by a dog. I was afraid. I saw my flesh on my leg, it was wide open. Fear created such an exaggerated picture, so I ran home. My family was there, grandmother was there. I sat on the sofa, pulled down my pants to show them what had happened. Well, it's a small community, so in a matter of minutes, it wasn't just my family that was in the house, but it was half of the town that was inside. Now, everyone's inside, and I'm in underwears. Now, this is really embarrassing for me because I used to make fun of men on the beach wearing Speedos, and now half of the town is seeing me, not in boxers, in drawers. And suddenly it wasn't the bite of the dog that was hurting anymore. It was the embarrassment of everyone seeing me in my condition, seeing me half naked. Shame, I think, is one of our biggest fears. I think that we've all done something that we're not proud of. Memories that we wish could be erased. Moments that we hope we could forget. And the problem about shame is that if you allow it, it can be permanent. So there's a story in the Bible of a man who I think can relate to my shameful experience. His name was Adam. And Adam was also ashamed because God found him naked. Naked. He knew he did wrong, and maybe he even feels worse when God asks, Adam, who told you that you were naked? Many think that this was a guilt trip question. To me, this is one of God's ultimate ways of showing how much He longs for closeness with His created beings, how He longs for this type of intimacy. It's as if God was saying, Adam, I'm going to ask you this question not because I don't know the answer, but because I want you to tell me what is your condition right now. I want you to be open with me. I know what you did. I know you're ashamed. However, I don't want your shame to come in between us. I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to feel ashamed of showing up to me in your current condition, not even if it's at your worst. I want you to tell me how you feel. I want you to hide nothing. The epitome of love and grandeur of a God who isn't offended by our nakedness, by our cuts and bruises, by our shame. Today, that dog bite is still visible. In fact, I've been bitten by dogs many times. I think this is definitely one of them. And there's a scar. And I think this is very important because behind every scar, there's a story. But the beautiful thing about it is that a scar shows that you have been healed. It's kind of embarrassing to show it when it's open, when you're hurt. You don't want anyone to know about it. But once it heals and turns into a scar, you can talk about it. It's a story. And I think this is something that we really need to have in mind. That a scar shows that you have been healed.
We've all been hurt before. We might be ashamed of our scars, but take a different approach. Scars show that there is nothing to be ashamed about. True living starts when you allow God to see your nakedness, to see your cuts and bruises, and let Him heal you, so that you can shine in the dark as a star. I found this quote a few years ago, although I don't know the source. I've been counting stars and scars. I'm becoming a work of art.